listen. House of the Dragon Season 2, Episode 1. It's a bit of a slow burn, but it was still exciting. There was a lot of juice, and it's a little fat on this meat, if you know what I'm talking about. Hold on, that. Anyway, listen, man, we got narration from my boy Jon Snow because they are in the north. My boy Jace Valerian still doesn't know what has happened to his brother at this point, but he's talking to the house of the Starks, Cragen Stark, and trying to get them to join his mother's side in the battle. He wants the north to remember their oaths, and if we know anything about the north remembers. That's kind of like what they do. They remember. Listen, he gets the news about his brother's death at the very moment they are on the wall, and he holds it together and he heads south, you know, to let his mother know that he got 2,000 men on the way, 2,000 Northmen. They're graybeards, but they're gonna fight like Northmen. And if you remember anything about what the Starks did while they were undermanned in the War of the Five Kings, then you know them boys got that action. You know what I'm talking about? You know it's action. It's up. It's up. Meanwhile, we find out Rhaenyra just can't be settled in her spirit until she finds her son's body, proof of life or proof of death. You know, she's lost right now, man. She's lost till that body flows up on the beach. Not the son's body, but the dragon. Daemon is ready to go. Daemon is raring to go. Daemon is ready for war. He's ready for battle. He wants it to be initiated. He wants it to crack off. He's tired of just flying around and scared. He wants it to crack. That's what Daemon Targaryen is looking for, man. He's about action. Even though that wasn't his blood son, he about that action. He about that action. Meanwhile, we see in the Red Keep that the Targaryens or the Greens don't have things all together themselves. Alicent Hightower is very upset at her son Aemon because she believes he started the war with his actions. Now we know Aemon didn't intentionally kill the boy. He didn't intentionally do it. His dragon ate the dragon, but he kind of was. But this the reason why Aemon got his eye poked out. He played too much. He played too much. He was trying to bully that boy, and that's what happened. And his cousin is gone, and now we're about to get the Dance of the Dragons. But we also find out that Aegon Targaryen is a horrible king. He's a bad. He don't know nothing about nothing, and it's partly King Viserys' fault because King Viserys never expected him to be king. King Viserys anointed his daughter to be queen and ruler of Westeros, but Aegon don't know nothing about it. Jack Squat, he brings his 4-year-old son to court, and he say he wants him to learn how to rule by coming to court as a 4-year-old. He does what a 4-year-old does. He's very petulant. He's playing, he's yelling, he's talking loud, climbing on tape. He climbing. You needed a black parent there to say, get your ass down. Get down. That's what you needed. But of course that wasn't there. Anyway, Alicent finally got him to go ahead and remove the son. But yeah, Aegon's not taking nothing serious, man. He's not going to be a good king at all. Aemon probably would be better. He's more militant, more strategic, but he kind of has a violent side to him. You know, he's kind of like Maker. I don't know if y'all know the books. Y'all know about Maker Targaryen. But yeah, man, we see that's going on, man. Otto Hightower, the grandfather, the one who schemed to get the Hightowers on the throne, who schemed to get the Hightowers a part of the Targaryen family so they could rule. He can't control none of these people. He can't control nothing, nada, nobody. He doesn't run anything because Hagen is a drunk, alcoholic, and a whoremonger. Aemon is scheming on his own means. He's kind of like Daemon. He'll wild card. He wants war. Alicent is gonna be Alicent. You know, she's just, I don't know. She's a victim on all fronts. And then you got a little boyfriend. You got her little boyfriend. And what can I say about him? Sir Christian Cole is the simp of the year, the biggest simp, biggest hypocrite of the year. The very things he's mad at Rhaenyra Targaryen about from last season, him and Alicent still do. They the sneaky link. They sneak and get butt together. That's what they do. The sneaky link, sneaking and geeking and sneaking. And if her son find out, they'll probably hang on Christian Cole. They'll probably hang him. So Alicent still wants to keep this a secret. Christian Cole, he like, baby, I got a Woody. You know what I'm talking about? And she, baby, we can't do that no more. But they do it again. They do it again in this episode. Listen, I'm not knocking them. You know, it was hard times back then, and it was hard times. But yeah, man, we finally see Rhaenyra come back to Dragonstone, and the first thing she says is, "I want Aemon Targaryen. I want him." So Daemon sets out to start a plan to get Aemon took out, and it don't quite work out like that. It don't be working out like that. Like, listen. Sometimes plans go awry. Sometimes things don't go right. But it was money involved, and since money was involved, and they got their upfront, but they want that back pay. If you know about that back pay, you want that back end, baby. You know what I'm saying? You want that back end. So they made what can't do can, and they made what don't do. You know somebody? That's what they did. That's what they did. And now we have a scenario in the books that's known as Blood and Cheese. Blood and Cheese. All because the rat catcher and one of the security guards decided that if we can't get the Aemon Targaryen, we'll take out the next heir to the throne. And it was brutal. In typical Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon fashion, it was brutal. It was pretty brutal. It was hard to watch. I'm not gonna lie. We didn't get to really see it, but you could hear it. You could hear it. And I could say this is gonna play out bad, but they was headed to war anyway. It was about to get cracking anyway. They was already. Listen. The blacks, the Rhaenyra side, Daemon, Rhaenyra, Corlys Velaryon, all of them, like, they already had a squad. You got the number one shipwright in the land, which is Corlys Velaryon. You got his wife, she has a dragon. You got the Vale, who sided with Rhaenyra. You got the Starks, who sided with Rhaenyra. But you got the Stormlands. They're going for the Tullys. Listen, I'm going too deep into the whole show and the books, but yeah, they're all siding with the Greens. It's about the clash, and we're gonna have dragon on dragon action on dragons on actions, and that don't sound right either, but it's about to go down, man. We're about to see Daemon Targaryen at full strength, at full might, and all of his glory. And Aemon too. I can't wait, man. This is my reaction to episode 1. I give it an 8 out of 10, man. I just can't wait to see what happens next. I can't wait to see the armies clash. Also, we got to see my boy Corlys Velaryon. He was saved from the sea. And this one thing I'm gonna say, I gotta go. You know, this isn't one thing I gotta say about House of the Dragon and my complaint about the Rings of Power. Listen. We know we're dealing with the Middle Ages, we're dealing with Middle Earth, we're dealing with European type things at this moment. I don't really have an issue with race swapping and gender swapping if the writing and the story is good. And so in this show, we see that they have some black sailors or a couple of black guys that show up to help the Corlys Velaryon, who's a guy who's also race swapped in the show from the books. But the writing is good, the story is good, the show, everything around it is good. So it's not a big issue unless you're somebody that just don't want to see a black person on screen. You're just very against that. But I didn't see that and was like, you know what, I didn't see that and say that's out of place. You know, it's a brother with. I didn't see that. Like, they put those people, they slotted them in right where they were supposed to be at. Like, House of Dragon did it right. They do it right. They did it right. You know, I just gotta say, Rings of Power, they didn't do it right. But House of the Dragon, it didn't make me never mind to see that, man. It'll make me never mind. But yeah, the Velaryons, they ready to go too. The Targaryens, the Velaryon, it's about to crack. I done said it a couple of times, man. House of the Dragon season 2, episode 1. Ricky Jr. Can't wait. Burn them all.